All right, I know it's been a long day for everybody, and we appreciate you coming out and to support our efforts. Like Bobby said, I'm second to the last speaker, so we don't have much longer. But really, you guys worked, it's exhausting. You're listening to all these speeches. You may not be super excited to hear about every single subject, but you guys standing here, it makes a difference. In some countries, they shoot people down who do protests. So we're really, really lucky to be living in the United States of America. And I feel proud that we have the right to be here today speaking our minds on the upcoming laws and policies. And right now, we have the right to be heard loud and clear by all of these policymakers. Believe me, they're listening. I got a phone call this week, and they asked me about the rally. So they are listening. The more people that show up, the more people that get involved, that's the important thing. So you guys, you're the diehards. I'm gonna tell you who else are diehards here is we're being profiled at this very moment. If you look above, they're still here, right? They're still profiling us all damn day. Yet people leave, people come and go. I'm sure they have your license plates as you rode in. I'm sure there's some over there too.
Don't forget facial recognition.
Yeah, facial recognition. They know who we are here today. All of us are being profiled, and this is not okay, but we'll talk about that later. So we've heard from some great speakers, the MRF, Harley dealer owners, Double D, small business owners. It's been amazing. There's a lot of information. Let's face it, we love to ride our bikes. The power, the design, the sound, performance, wind in your face, stress relief, the freedom we feel from riding. In fact, that we can customize our bikes, the social aspects of meeting people with the same passion, community, camaraderie. I mean, all of you guys are my brothers. Whether I've met you before or not, we feel something common with each other. It's the same for the car enthusiast community. Believe me, I spoke to a lot of them, but they're just really have their heads in the sand about what's coming up. So let's talk about that. How many of you own classic cars or motorcycles, right? Just about everybody here, that's why we're here. So you know what I'm talking about. And if people are here that don't ride, and I really want the policymakers to hear this because they don't ride, yet they're making these policies, right? And I'm dead serious, they should be coming to our events, seeing what we're about, instead of passing judgment and making laws. So I know that you heard what's coming down the pipeline. No gas cars being sold in 2035. And what about motorcycles? The change is coming sooner. You don't believe it? Well, Harley-Davidson is on board. On their website, electric motorcycles and bikes. We're leading the electrification of two wheels with a range of products. It's right on their website. What about aftermarket products, mufflers? These new sound bills and laws are taking away a lot from us. Our safety and some people's livelihoods, to name a few. What about electric cars? Do you think you should have the right to choose on what car you buy and how it's ran? So I'm not against going green and learning about new technologies. I am driving a hydrogen car as well as I love classic cars. I love motorcycles. We should have the right to choose. The transition is commendable, but it's crucial to remember that the choice between these two options should remain in the hands of the consumers. The right to choose is a fundamental principle that should be upheld in any democratic society. As citizens, we value our freedom to make decisions that align with our personal preferences and needs. The automotive industry should be no exception to this principle. Sustaining the right to choose promotes competition and innovation among both gas and electric vehicles. Ultimately, this benefits everyone, including those who prefer gas-powered vehicles, as it pushes manufacturers to create more efficient and environmentally friendly options. And I still can't believe that the industries are not challenging these laws. Everybody's just letting this slide on through. It's going to change our entire lifestyles. And what about profile? Well, we talked about it earlier. We're being profiled right now. So I was going to ask to raise your hands if you've been profiled, but every one of you are being profiled right now. I'm in an all-female motorcycle club called Extreme Vixens MC. We are all professional women who ride, and we pride ourselves on the charity work we do within the community. And yet we still are videotaped, followed, and even harassed by law enforcement. And that's nothing compared to what our brothers in the community endure on a regular basis. So this is not okay. Many states have adopted anti-motorcycle profiling laws, yet California still has not done so. Why? Well, California is usually the leader in motorcycle legislation, with other states following us. I found out that California has strong law enforcement lobbyists. So we are a grassroots movement. Abate, and that you heard from Jim Lombardo, they have part-time lobbyists. I think MRF has some volunteer lobbyists. But we don't have the strength, and we don't have paid lobbyists that are doing this full-time like the law enforcement has. So usually that's not a problem, but the senators and the assembly members, they don't want to author a bill that they think goes against law enforcement. We're not going against law enforcement. We are asking for fair treatment and to stop being harassed. Look, right? We're just asking that we can just live our lives like everybody else. This discrimination based on what we ride or wear, this kind of discrimination is not only unjust and immoral, but also undermines the fundamental values of our society. We pride ourselves on being a nation that values freedom, equality, and justice for all. Yet when we allow profiling and discrimination to go unchecked, we betray those values and compromise the very fabric of our society. And that's why we need to stand up against profiling and discrimination and challenge these stereotypes, right? They're all watching Sons of Anarchy and they think that's us. Even Christian clubs, everybody, they're getting profiled. It's crazy. We need to recognize that not everybody in a motorcycle club or that ride motorcycles are not violent or criminals. The vast majority of club members and motorcycle riders are law-abiding citizens. We need to be treated as such. So how do we do this, right? What's going on? Well, it starts with you guys, okay? We need to educate the community and law enforcement that it's as simple as somebody comes up and says, oh wow, that's a really beautiful bike. What is that? What kind? People say that to us all the time. You can start educating them about how we're being profiled. I did that at lunch the other day. This lady was like, wow, you're in a motorcycle club. I love your bike. I started telling her how we're getting profiled. People don't realize this is happening. And I think when the general public finds out, they don't approve of this discrimination. People in the general public love bikers. Every time we meet them, they're so happy to meet us and want to hear about everything and hear about our bikes. So right now, there are only a handful of freedom fighters working to support these causes, right? You've heard them today. That's a handful of people. We need your help. If you're here, you stayed this long, then I know you're interested in defending your rights. Please reach out to any one of us and let us know you're interested. Whether you can spare 1 hour or 20 hours a month. It doesn't matter because every little bit helps, believe me. In this critical juncture of our history, we cannot afford to remain passive observers. We need you. Thank you.